Part 35. Pokemon's Character Master. Author, Ai Ren Huoqiang Xiao. Chapter 354. Are you really kidding? Yang Yu felt that the senior student from another university in front of him could still be saved. After all. What if I cry? The game started less than half an hour ago. After all, just for one credit, it's really not worth it. What's more, Yang Yu felt that the senior sister in front of him probably didn't have many points on hand, so it was not worth Yang Yu's actions to make her cry. For a moment, Yang Yu thought of that Wang Shivo who was at Grandma Lin's house some time ago. She had a lot of red envelopes. Only a girl like this is worth taking action. Chen Qinling's delicate eyebrows had a hint of sullenness, because the freshman from Qingyun University in front of her didn't even respond at all. Only. Speaking of which, senior sister, you may not believe it. It's not that Yang Yu doesn't want to take action, it's because, senior sister, your price is too low. In the final analysis, the points are too few and not valuable enough. Who are you kidding? Little boy in the lotus hat, let's go. Chen Qianling immediately chose to take action. This was a national competition, and freshmen should be aware of being beaten by their senior students, even if they only have 1 point on hand. In the forest, ground-type and grass-type elves have unique advantages. The large area of vegetation and the faint earthy smell in the forest are very good side advantages for grass-type elves. This is why Chen Qianling feels that as long as a lotus hat boy is needed, the freshman in front of her can taste the taste of being hummed. Little dream monster. Chen Qianling frowned slightly. She didn't know why, but she didn't feel the panic of the freshman in front of her. After all, at this time last year, she threw 3 elf balls at once. As a result, the 3 elf balls were directly killed by one of the old students. The elf kills instantly. She felt aggrieved after her points were taken away by the old students. Although the freshman was protected by the novices, she was at a very obvious disadvantage when facing the senior trainers. No matter what, get this 1 point first. Chen Qianling shook her head and looked at the freshman in front of her. For some reason, a hint of excitement gradually rose in her eyes. Why did I get bullied by the old students before? I will be bullied by these freshmen this year. As for Qingyun University, she has never heard of any famous students, so she doesn't have to worry about so many other things. If it were an elf university ranked highly in the country like Yanjing University and Xianan University, she wouldn't be stupid enough to mess with it. Shadow clone. So what if the grass-type elves have an advantage in the forest? Don't forget, the forest is also the home of ghost elves. When the red orb on the little dream demon's chest flickered, a misty purple aura emitted from behind him for an instant. At the same time, on all the treetops behind the little dream demons were sneaking among the leaves one by one. Demonic shadows and illusions immediately surrounded Chen Qianling and her lotus hat boy. Just asking you. Be afraid or not. What the hell kind of trick is this? Chen Qianling looked horrified. She didn't have much experience in the forest. She had never seen so many dream monsters appear in such an instant. The boy in the lotus hat took a few steps back. The strange scene in front of him made him feel faintly scared. If the move Shadow Clone is only used on a normal battlefield, it may not be that surprising after an ordinary elf uses it, but the current venue is Meteor Forest. So many little dream monsters, against the background of these trees, in the silent environment, they seem to create a kind of ghostly realm. Chen Qianling and her lotus hat boy are trapped in this field. Pretend to be a ghost. Chen Qianling felt a tremor in her heart and immediately issued an attack command. The lotus hat boy, use the foam light to scatter all the illusory dream monsters around you. Little dream demon, please let this senior and its elf feel the cries of ghosts. Yang Yu grinned. Woo 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 woo. The whole place began to reverberate with eerie cries. Even in the daytime, there was a terrifying atmosphere as if someone had strayed into a tomb. The faint cries of the little dream monster. Like a tearful child. I want to recharge and deduct coins, I want to recharge and deduct coins, woo woo woo, it doesn't matter if you don't recharge and deduct coins for me, but you still want to hit me, woo woo woo. The little dream monster is so cute, how can I fight it? The smile on Yang Yu's face suddenly felt a little stiff. Originally, Yang Yu's intention was to recall the scene when he first met the little dream demon in the forest. That was how they formed the bond between trainer and elf. However, for some reason, Yang Yu felt faint. Yu feels like. Now he himself feels a little scared. The whole place is filled with the cries of the little dream monster, and it has a built-in echo effect. The longer it goes, the more you can feel it, a cold air rushing straight up your spine instantly. Damn it, although this cry does not cause any physical damage, the impact on the spirit is extremely huge. The Lotus Hat Boy even started to hug Chen Qinling's calf and began to tremble. Fight elves? Where do you have the courage? This is a ghostly cry that can strike fear into the spirit of an elf. Come back, Lotus Hat Boy, go, Moru Mo. Chen Qianling gritted her teeth angrily. This freshman at Qingyun University must be so sick. She let her ghost-type elf make cries of injustice in the forest. How can you fight an elf battle like this? Chen Qianling felt that she was not well. She only got 1 point. Why did she have to go through this kind of elf battle that was like entering a nightmare scene? Which teacher has ever taught such a disgusting student in this kind of battle? Be damned. Hiss. A purple moth-shaped elf shuttles between the woods, with black eyes revealing a deep gaze. This is the evolved form of the furball elf, which lives in the forest all year round. It can be said that Moru Mo is very familiar with ghost-type elves. As early as when he was in the form of a furball, he had dealt with these dream monsters who like to play tricks on other elves and people. Ultrasound. Chen Qianling gritted her teeth, she wanted that ghost elf to feel the power of sound waves. Don't you like to cry? Then I will really beat you to tears. Chen Qianling could already predict that under the ultrasound, any elf would appear immediately. Evil monsters, come out. Chen Qianling shouted loudly, this is the critical moment to launch a counterattack. Morumo's sound waves stopped at this moment. Right in front of Chen Qinling's eyes. A ghost appeared. After the ghost, there is a ghost stone. Behind ghost stone. Jengar. Yang Yu was a little surprised because this ghost was still saying hello to him. Is this, the ghost from when the little dream demon asked for directions just now? The little dream demon slowly appeared next to Jengar, with no sad look on his face. The little dream demon is always smiling. Ding. Senior Sister Chen Qianling, the ele.me set meal you ordered has been delivered. Please give it a 5-star rating. Moru Mo. Chen Qianling. See you in the evening. Pokemon's Character Master. Author, AI Ren Huoqiang Xiao. Chapter 355. Chen Qianling looked at the 4 ghost elves in front of her. Are you crazy? What she was looking for was just a dream monster. Where did the ghosts and ghosts come from? And this last Jengar. This is obviously the wild ghost elf in the forest. Why are you 3 here to join in the fun? Chen Qianling felt that there was something MMP must say in her heart. Why did the wild ghost elves in the forest suddenly appear to help this dream monster in front of her? Why wasn't she treated like this in the forest when she was a freshman? Gee. Jengar among them turned around and patted his stomach with his short arm in front of Yang Yu. Cover it with us. This Jengar is not as huge as Jengar Laohe. It is of a very normal size and looks very reliable. I don't know why, but I think of the Gengui Laohe who appeared on the computer screen. Although he only has 1 pair of eyes and 1 mouth, there is no doubt that he is Gengui Laohe. Yang Yu very much suspected that Gengui Laohe was the one who misled little Menyao about recharging and deducting coins. Only when a small black ball lit up in the hands of the little dream demon in front of him, Yang Yu immediately stopped slandering Gengui Laohe. So delicious. Although it is still difficult for little dream demon to throw the lighted up ball stably, the appearance of this small shadow ball alone is enough to frighten some trainers, right? Gee. The wild Jengar looked at the ball in the little dream demon's hand, and then he pinched a bigger ball. This is a real shadow ball with destructive power. Stop, stop, stop. Chen Qianling felt like she couldn't help but feel terrified. This wild ghost elf that appeared out of nowhere in the forest directly disrupted her plan. Even, she might not be able to beat him. Is it easy for me to grab 1 point? Chen Qianling felt so uncomfortable. She didn't understand why a wild elf came to help this freshman when he was fighting an elf battle. Isn't this cheating? Ordinary people can't beat Guobi. Aren't you going to fight now? Yang Yu also had a temper in his heart. You made the first move at the beginning of the battle. If you said you didn't want to fight, you wouldn't fight. Yang Yu, don't want to lose face? Little Dream Demon, defeated Moru Mo, now it's my turn to grab points. Yang Yu waved his hand and directly ordered the Little Dream Demon to take action. When Little Dream Demon takes action, he naturally leads Gaisai, Ghost Stone, and Jengar around him to take action together. 4 against 1. The Little Dream Monster's Shadow Ball may not have much power, but when the small black ball in his hand began to glow with golden light, a thin bolt of lightning shot out instantly. Shock your ass. It was already very difficult for Moru Mo to deal with Jengar's Shadow Ball. How could he expect that a bolt of lightning would burst out from the hands of a ghost-type dream monster? And is shock its tail. The speed of the electric-type trick is definitely the fastest among all attributes. If you simply deal with the little dream monster, Morumo's reaction speed can definitely avoid it. Damn it, you actually attacked by surprise. The Morumoth couldn't help but feel numbness in his lower body in the air, and his flying wings immediately became unstable, like a headless fly, bumping around in the sky, and finally fell to the forest floor. Morumoth. Chen Qianling directly threw 3 elf balls this time. Rumble Rock. Gem Starfish. The boy in the lotus hat. In an instant, a powerful fighting force gathered around him. At the same time, at this moment, Yang Yu also completely understood a very important rule of the forest team competition. A team fight. Before, the 2 trainers competing for the scorecard only had a one-on-one match, which made Yang Yu subconsciously ignore this important key point. Now, looking at the 4 elves in front of the senior student, there is also a lying one. The Morumoth affected by electromagnetic waves on the ground. Yang Yu grinned. Team battles are good. You can cry several times in a team battle, but you can harvest more points in a team battle. In Chen Qinling's opinion, this smile was mixed among Ghost, Jengar, and Dream Demon, like a humanoid grimace. GGG. Seeing that the situation in front of him was getting a little tricky, Jengar immediately issued a ghostly call to the sky above the forest. Whoosh whoosh. Above the forest, among the not-so-dense leaves, you can see black shadows gathering from all directions. Invite friends and companions. Ghosts have their own unique circle in the forest. This is a collective. Just like a group of Kentaro, as long as one Kentaro is harmed by outsiders, the entire group will rush to avenge it. Wrestling with a bull? You will taste the horns. Yelling with ghost elves? You are in the forest. You will taste what real fear is day and night. We are the ghosts of the meteor forest. When the ghosts appeared in front of Chen Qinling's eyes, they were no longer just 3 elves, but a whole group of ghost elves in the forest. It's obvious that these ghosts heed Jengar's call. This forest used to have light shining through the leaves. At this moment, it seems like night has fallen. This is a dark world created by ghosts. Why can this dream monster be helped by so many ghosts in the forest? Why did this freshman, from the beginning to the end, he only brought this dream demon with him and did not summon other elves? Chen Qianling suddenly became frightened. The battle between elves is secondary. If these ghost-type elves come to trouble her at night, they will prevent her from sleeping and compete in the national competition. This moment, Chen Qianling wants to cry. She really didn't understand. She just wanted to grab 1 point from a freshman at an ordinary university. How could this happen? Every year there are examples of people who annoy wild elves in the forest, causing their performance to go awry in competitions, and there are also examples of people who are mentally disturbed by the torment of ghost-type elves. Chen Qianling doesn't want to become a living example by then. Hand over your bracelet. Yang Yu's voice came at the right time. Those who know the current affairs are heroes, and the situation is stronger than others. There is absolutely no way. Chen Qianling gritted her teeth and immediately threw her bracelet into the air. A ghost took the bracelet and handed it to the little dream demon. The little dream demon brought the bracelet to Yang Yu's side with squinting eyes and a smile. The bracelets are intertwined. Why only 2 points? In the quiet atmosphere, although Yang Yu just muttered, Chen Qianling still heard his voice. This Qingyun University student. How abominable. Which student from Qingyun University are you? Chen Qianling swore that the competition has just begun. From the end, this freshman must be good looking. Qingyun University, Han Li. Yang Yu handed the bracelet to the little dream demon. He now has 3 points. However, Yang Yu watched the little dream demon pull out something from nowhere, stretched out his little hand and pressed a few buttons on it. In the deserted venue, an emotional voice appeared, which made people listen. Creepy. Return to 0. 2 minus 2 equals 0. Return to 0. Chen Qianling cried. Unacceptable. It's too difficult, I'm really too difficult. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Pokemon's Character Master. Author, AI Ren Huoqiang Xiao. Chapter 356. Yang Yu. Yang Yu watched helplessly as the good senior sister's eyes began to turn red, covered with a layer of mist, and then she began to sob. Be reasonable. Yang Yu didn't send out the Salted Fish King. The reason why he sent King Salted Fish and Little Bayo Bayo to Meteor Lake in the first half of the game was to avoid attracting too much attention in the early stage. He simply wanted to slowly appreciate the Meteor Forest with Little Dream Demon. Beauty. In the end, why did he cry all the time? You really can't blame Yang Yu. Because Yang Yuzhen didn't know that Little Dream Demon would bring a calculator, and it was the kind that could read out the calculation process. Yang Yu swore that he had never bought such a thing for Little Dream Demon. Real? So here's the question, this calculator from Little Dream Demon. Where did you get it? No wonder that after Wenren Fang Chen lent Little Dream Demon a calculator that day, Mr. Yang Yu felt that something was wrong. What did Little Dream Demon do with the calculator? Yang Yu himself felt a bit devilish. It's so heartbreaking to have your emotions return to 0. When the Little Dream Demon took out the calculator that he had obtained from his master, all the ghost elves around him immediately focused their attention on it. Because this thing has the aura of the Ghost King on it. When the sound from the calculator made the girl trainer cry, the entire ghost group began to boil. It is indeed a calculator that has the aura of a Ghost King. It can make the trainer cry by just making a little sound. You know, ghost-type elves in the forest are also very boring. They can only scare some trainers who enter the forest. But sometimes, they may not be able to scare them, and they may even be beaten by the trainer. But With the Ghost King's calculator, it can make those trainers cry. It is simply the treasure that ghost elves dream of. For a moment, Jengar, including Jengar, looked at the calculator with great reverence. Swish swish. Senior, senior, your memory bracelet is still here with me. Yang Yu looked at Chen Qianling, who was almost crying and leaving, and quickly reminded her kindly. All he wants is points, what's the use of this bracelet? Chen Qianling originally wanted to turn around and leave. This person is a devil. How could there be a bastard trainer who lets the elf carry a calculator with him? However, when the hateful voice sounded behind her, she even wanted to walk faster, but the bracelet was still in that person's hand. Chen Qianling mustered up her courage, turned around and grabbed the scoring ring directly from Yang Yu's hand, and gave him a fierce look, like what it's like to break up with a scumbag. I even wanted to slap him. It's just that Yang Yu is a straight man who doesn't have any feelings. 1 + 2 = 3. Thump. Yang Yu looked at the sound of falling from the direction where Chen Qianling was escaping, and the corners of his mouth twitched for a moment. Isn't what the little dream demon is calculating now just Yang Yu's points? The little dream demon held the calculator specially made by Master Gengui in his hand, and floated leisurely in front of Yang Yu, with a smile on his face, coming to claim credit. Master, Master, I am here to help you make your opponent cry. Is there any reward? Just be able to recharge and deduct coins. The little dream demon blinked. Yang Yu blinked. Finish the game first, then go back and recharge it for you. Yang Yu gently touched the little dream demon's curled hair and sighed quietly. It's just that, little dream monster, can we not make the girls cry? Hey. The little dream demon's eyes were bright and she nodded immediately. Half an hour later. Qingyun University Hanli, I remember you. Return to 0. 1 - 1 = 0. Return to 0. The voice of the devil's calculator suddenly sounded. Ah, I'll fight you. It's too bullying, it's really too bullying. Can a ghost-type elf just do whatever he wants? Following the incompetent roar, a boy sat alone under a tree, looking up at the leaves above his head. The sky seemed to have lost its color. 3 + 1 = 4. Yang Yu looked at the little dream monster lying on his head, smiling and pressing the calculator, and then looked at the freshman boy under the tree who was beginning to doubt his life. I couldn't help but hold my forehead. He seemed to have discovered a serious mistake he had made. Little Dream Demon and Salted Fish King are completely different. You know, when I was an exchange student at the Magic City Jiaotong University, during the Ghost Tide, the Little Dream Demon didn't care whether you were a boy or a girl, old or young, even the one who claimed to be in the Magic City Elf Alliance headquarters. Old bastard, you should be scared. So, this group of ghosts hiding behind the Little Dream Demon, including Jengar, the leader of this group of ghosts, seemed to be transformed into forest ghost bodyguards. They started to cause trouble with the Little Dream Demon, and even found an outsider crying. The trainers all let out weird smiles as if they had been injected with chicken blood. Yang Yu couldn't help but have a headache. The person who did this is Han Li and Han Laomo of Qingyun University, and I am now Meng Hao and Meng Xiaohao of the sponsoring university. Yang Yu immediately found a pretty good excuse for himself. After all, the Little Dream Demon is like Yang Yu's little daughter. You only allow your own children to bully others, but you don't allow other people's children to bully you. In the national competition, food is the original sin. Little Dream Demon, let's go. Don't take action so early. We don't have many points. We only got 3 points now. The points are too few. Yang Yu began to teach the Little Dream Demon. The Little Dream Demon immediately put away the calculator, replaced it with a pen and a notebook, and started taking notes. It's like raising pigs. The pigs need to be fattened before they are killed. Pigs that are too thin have little meat. Yang Yu gestured and drew a big fat pig on the ground with a branch, and then drew a little pig. Pig. The little dream demon nodded thoughtfully, and soon her eyes brightened. She understood. Others will also grab points. When others have more points, we will harvest the big pig's points. Yang Yu continued to draw on the ground. The little dream demon seemed to have imagined that scene, and even a drop of saliva dripped from the corner of his mouth. Tick-tock. Yang Yu stared blankly at the drop of saliva falling on the ground. Why is the little dream demon still hungry while talking? The little dream demon took the branch from Yang Yu's hand, and then added a set of paintings on the ground. A man carrying a skull bag, and an elf with a big head and a small body. Yang Yu understood. This refers to Yang Yu and Little Dream Demon. It's just that the Little Dream Demon pushed the branch with some difficulty. The painting seems a bit big. Yang Yu watched as the thin man carrying a skull bag suddenly turned into a fat man. At the same time, the elf with a big head and a small body beside him also had a belly that was bigger than his head. Yang Yu. Recommended book, The Best Era of Magic. Magic is incredible things presented to the eyes, and there is always a kind of magician who uses magic under the guise of a magician. Pokémon's Character Master. Author, Ai Ren Huoqiang Xiao. Chapter 358. All contestants have entered the Meteor Forest. Elf Alliance, Elf Alliance. The signal at Elf Alliance entrance number 1 is good. The signal at Elf Alliance entrance number 4 is good. An hour later, photography of shuttlecock grass and shuttlecock flowers will take off from the sky, and the battle between the forests will be broadcast live during the competition. Roger. The camera is being debugged. The first batch of image data of gophers in the forest will be transmitted in half an hour. The National College Student Elite Trainer competition started successfully. In the temporary camps of various universities, there are school competition support staff who are always paying attention to the progress of the competition. In the camp, a screen that changes in real time to record points has been lit up, including the points of each player of the school. At the same time, there will be a total ranking of points and the conversion data of how many points are needed to reach the top university. The names of the top 30 universities with total scores will appear in the entire ranking, and rankings after the 30th will not be displayed. At the same time, there is a personal standings next to the overall ranking. This is the list of individuals who have contributed the most points to the team competition. This is also a sign of strength. Only the top 100 points will appear on the personal list. When the initial ranking on the screen lights up, it means that the Elf Alliance's battlefield camera has entered the Meteor Forest. Next, on the screen, you can see the elf battles appearing everywhere. This time, it is between elite trainers of college students across the country. Contest. Initial ranking 158. The competition resident teacher at Hangcheng TV University breathed a sigh of relief when he saw the first set of data appear on the screen. This initial ranking is not bad for Hangzhou TV University. A total of nearly 300 elf universities participated. Hangzhou TV University is in the middle of the pack. As long as it maintains the current momentum and stabilizes it. The one with the highest points currently is Konghanan, with 18 points. The vice president of the school Elite Alliance is indeed the leader of the school. How is the situation now? A clean voice came from outside. A female teacher wrapped in a coat walked into the camp. It was none other than Zhao Shenzi, the female lecturer who had fought with Yang Yu at the beginning of the semester. Teacher Zhao, you came just in time. Now you are ranked 118th in points. Oh no, it's 120, stable at this ranking. The resident teacher saw the person coming outside the door and immediately reported. How's your personal score? The highest scorer is Konghanan, who currently has 20 points. Konghanan, the vice president of the Elite Alliance, is really amazing. Zhao Shenzi's delicate eyebrows moved slightly, and then he mentioned a name, a student who impressed her deeply but made her feel complicated, Yang Yu. How is Yang Yu's situation? Yang Yu, now, 4 points. The resident teacher immediately checked the scores at the back. It's quite satisfactory. Zhao Shenzi's brows immediately frowned. 4 points? The points in the game are starting to show up, which means that 2 hours have passed since the first batch started. 2 hours. What is Yang Yu doing in the forest? Shopping. It took 2 hours to get 4 points. Which group is Yang Yu entering the forest? Zhao Shenzi's tone began to become a little cold. The first batch. The first batch to enter the forest. He has only scored 4 points now. Is he sleepwalking? Zhao Shenzi's voice couldn't help but get louder. This year, she took the initiative to tell the principal that she would come to the national competition to keep an eye on the competition. In fact, she just wanted to see what kind of wonderful performance Yang Yuninj would have in the competition. Although Zhao Shenzi lost to Yang Yu, she is now working at Hangcheng Radio and Television University, so she naturally hopes that Hangcheng Radio and Television University will achieve better results in the national competition. The ranking in the national competition is related to whether a university can obtain good elf resources, especially the qualification to enter the elf secret realm. This is the most attractive reward for contestants in the entire national competition. Putting aside personal grudges, there is actually no grudge. Zhao Shenzi simply hopes that Yang Yu can stand up at this time and make Hangcheng TV University's results better. He is a capable person. He can obviously do it. Teacher Zhao, don't worry. The national competition will last for 5 days. Whether it is searching for scorecards or the subsequent competition for scorecards, this is not just a matter of one person. It will even trigger a multi-party battle later. The resident teacher is an experienced competition teacher, has seen various competition situations. Whether it is falling behind in the early stage and rising in the later stage, or leading in the early stage and then collapsing in the later stage, such situations are not unheard of, and sometimes, a multi-party battle may directly change the ranking of the entire game, and everything is difficult to predict. I know this. I also participated in the national competition during college, but... Zhao Shenzi stared hard at the name that was still 4 points dangling in front of him, and couldn't help but want to smash the screen, but sometimes, advantages must be established in the early stages. What on earth is Yang Yu doing? Logically speaking, the first batch of people entering the Meteor Forest should not only have 4 points if they are not robbed by other students. Even if someone else comes to rob, maybe they're even here to give points. I don't believe that Yang Yu can even beat me, a lecturer, but can't he beat those idiots? The resident teacher looked at Zhao Shenzi with a strange expression. It seemed that time had passed a little too long. Then he remembered that there was an elf battle between lecturer Zhao and Yang Yu at the beginning of the freshman year. That scene. It seems that Xiao Zhao is crying? Is there? I think there is. This is impressive. If you don't get the top 100 personal points, even if the principal stops me, I will beat you to tears. The resident teacher was silent. It must be true that Xiao Zhao cried. But this kid has such strength, why does he only have 4 points? Cluck K. Ka. Zhizi. Deep in the Meteor Forest, on the edge of the river, a group of magi carp seemed to be waiting for something. Incredibly, these carp kings are arranged neatly and orderly. There is a rope loop on the crown on their heads, and behind the rope loop, a small bamboo raft is tied. 2 long-tailed monsters appeared in the forest. The long-tailed monster hands shuttle between branches with their hand-like tails. They are extremely flexible. At the same time, in their arms, they hold some small cards of different colors. Squeak. Cluck K. 2 long-tailed monsters jumped steadily from the shore to the bamboo raft. Magi Carp 9th Agent Team, the scorecards are loaded. Get ready to go back to base. Magi Carp and the long-tailed monsters disappeared at the edge of the river without being discovered by anyone. The long-tailed monster fiddled with the small cards in his hands. These small cards were all found in the forest. Although they didn't know what they were used for, they listened to the king of carp. You must be right. Above the waters, faintly, you can also see many small teams of magi carp agents. Behind him, there is also a long-tailed monster. I'm coming. Pokemon's character master. Author, Ai Ren Huoqiang Shao. Chapter 359. At this time, Yang Yuzhen was not shopping in the forest. He is now sitting under a tree and resting. After walking for a while, Yang Yu began to think about the good things about Kentaro in the forest. Although he admitted that riding Kentaro could easily cause a heavy blow to the buttocks, Yang Yu felt that his legs were a little bad after walking for such a long distance, especially on some roads in the forest. Can you call me a road? This was going from pit to pit, and Yang Yu even thought about seeing if he could reach Meteor Lake. If he continued at this speed, he was afraid that his leg would be broken in a few days. A little dream demon floated in front of Yang Yu, who raised his head and sighed. Then, a Jengar also floated over. Immediately afterwards, a ghost stone floated over with its long tongue hanging out. A group of dark ghosts hurriedly followed behind Yang Yu. Not long after, the little dream demon from the past floated back in front of Yang Yu's eyes. There is no doubt that the group of ghost-type elves behind them are following behind the little dream demon, as if found the organization. Yang Yu sighed. The little dream demon looked so relaxed floating like this. He also wanted to float like this, but he couldn't do it. In the meteor forest, if there are traffic elves, the advantage will be much greater. Yang Yu can even think that those students with traffic elves can still escape even if they are pursued by some powerful opponents. Perhaps this is why the school teacher strongly recommended that the second elf choose a common elf like Dudula. Yang Yu thought slightly in his heart. If a freshman gets a Dudu, with two factors, good cultivation and good luck, he can evolve into a Dudu before the national competition. Even if he can't beat it, he can still run away. Like the previous senior who had no traffic pet and average strength, when meeting someone like Yang Yu, it was obvious that points were coming to her door and she couldn't run away even if she wanted to. Regarding this kind of behavior that he couldn't refuse even if he sent points to his door, Yang Yu said that he could only accept it with kindness. They all came to deliver it in person, so it's not good if you don't accept it, right? Swish swish. Yang Yu looked in the direction in front of him. There were sounds of running and chasing ahead. Yang Yu's eyes lit up. Could it be? Has someone sent points to your door again? The little dream demon took out his calculator, and the Jengar, ghost, and ghost behind him immediately stopped their happy pursuit. Each of their eyes exuded the light of hey hey hey. Guys, business is coming. These ghost-type elves immediately concealed themselves in the tree trunks in an organized and disciplined manner. Yang Yu could even see several ghosts squeezing towards the same place, even squeezing into the trunk of a tree, which was a bit incredible. Squeeze, healthier. Yang Yu couldn't help but hold his forehead. The little dream demon and these ghost elves were actually more excited than him. What a sin! Two figures appeared from behind the woods, one behind the other, and the one behind them could easily look like the bad guy. However, this is a national competition. For the sake of points for yourself and the team, you have to fight for the points. Is it possible that the points can be delivered to your door without having to do anything? That freshman in front of you, stop running. Aren't you tired after running for so long? Behind him, a sophomore trainer with a faint yellow light in his hand was chasing after him. This is the scorecard I discovered first, the freshman boy in front sounded a little annoyed. Lotta, who was running away with him, was also a little exhausted at this time. Lotta was still covering for him while he was running. The cooperation between the trainer and the elf still had no good solution in the face of the absolute strength. Huh? There's another freshman. Wang Ganglin was overjoyed. He didn't expect that he was running. Actually stumbled upon a freshman again? That person's bracelet is emitting white light? There is no doubt that Yang Yu did this on purpose. Emitting white light, he was like a cute little cabbage from the freshman year who was particularly easy to bully, just waiting to be bullied. At this time, Yang Yu was still holding a swiped points card in his hand, as if he had just gained points and accidentally exposed the white light, which made people. It's impossible to guard against it. Brother, run away. This man has a big-mouthed bat elf. We can't beat him. These old men are really too much. Zhao Xiaozhou was indignant. He has already run so far, and this old man is still chasing him. Why is he staring at him? Should freshmen be bullied by older students? Yang Yu took another look at the new trainer who had stopped and was leaning on a tree, gasping for air. Lotta beside him was almost exhausted. Run? Where can you run? I want all the points you two freshmen have. Wang Ganglin simply doesn't feel too good. He's just chasing a freshman, but he can still get unexpected gains. Look at this new people who show up. At first glance, he looks like a trainer with little experience in the forest. Points are like wealth, and wealth should not be exposed. Doesn't he even understand? Taihan Han. But I like. Wang Ganglin immediately commanded the big-mouthed bat hovering above his head with a smile. Big-mouthed bat, go grab his scoring ring. G. Flapping its wings with purple diaphragms, the big-mouthed bat opened its big mouth, showing 4 sharp teeth. Lotta, use lightning flash. Zhao Xiaozhou still didn't want this old student to take away the points he had worked so hard to get. Come on, these old students in the national competition are so hateful. Wang Ganglin said loudly, don't blame me for being ruthless. If you are not a freshman at a top university, you should be aware of being robbed of your points. Who doesn't come here like this? Big-mouthed bat, attack with wings. What's wrong with bullying a freshman? Yang Yu had already met a senior who also wanted to grab points for freshmen, and now, it was foreseeable that in the team competition in the forest, freshmen would always be at a disadvantage. This made Yang Yu, who also had a freshman status, very unhappy. Newborn. Does it mean that I have been bullied all the time? Yang Yu doesn't want this. Since you are here to snatch points, you must be mentally prepared to be counter-robbed. Yang Yu's move this time. Only for Wang Ganglin. It's not for anything else, it's just that I feel a little unhappy. Perhaps. It's a little fun to grab points from old students. Bullying freshmen is nothing. What big words are you talking about? I won't be scared by big words, Wang Ganglin grinned. He could already feel that his memory bracelet got to receive points from 2 freshmen again. Come out, little dream monster. GGG. For a moment, the little dream demon and the ghost army immediately surrounded Wang Ganglin and Zhao Xiaozhou. Zhao Xiaozhou. He didn't know why, but when he saw these dark ghost-type elves, he felt weak in his legs. Little dream demon, don't accidentally injure friendly forces. If you want to grab it, grab the big one. Yang Yu's voice sounded like a devil in the forest. Big-mouthed bat. Use ultrasonic waves to drive away these ghosts. Come out, you dumb-mouthed flower, and the Sand Mountain King. The Thugjengar immediately threw a black shadow ball out of his hand. Little ones, listen to my command and come up and lick these little elves. The long tongues rushed to lick the elf next to Wang Gang. Ghost attacks? You, what do you want to do? Don't come over. A male scream came from the forest. Return to 0. Please give me a vote. Thank you everyone. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Pokemon's Character Master. Author, Ai Ren Huo Chiang Xiao. Chapter 360. Ah! Don't come here. Don't come here. Wang Ganglin, who had finished the battle and surrendered, looked at Zhao Xiaozhou, who had his eyes closed and shouted louder than him, with his mouth twitching. For a moment, he began to doubt his life. Oh my God, I'm the one who gets beaten. Why are you shouting so loudly? 8 minus 8 equals 0. Return to 0. The sound of the terrifying calculator sounded in the ears of Wang Ganglin and Zhao Xiaozhou again. For a moment, their eyelids beat wildly and they had goosebumps all over their bodies. Wang Ganglin looked at the little dream monster in front of him with his head buried in the calculator and his face looked like he had slaughtered a fat pig, and his little heart began to twitch. Devil. Absolute devil. Why is he obsessed with ghosts? What a devil to provoke. Seeing his memory ring quickly cleared, Wang Ganglin had no time to ask who Yang Yu was. He just wanted to escape from this devil's place. How terrible. It doesn't matter if you lose the battle between elves, but what the hell? Why is there a ghost dream demon holding a devil's calculator, causing double critical additional damage to his spirit and heart? This is no longer just a ghost type, right? This is simply an evil elf with a ghost skin. Devil. Welcome again. Yang Yu happily looked at Lao's Hung Wang Ganglin who was running away from here as if running for his life, and he didn't even forget to add the previous sentence. Wang Ganglin almost fell down. If I do it again, I will be a dog. Welcome, welcome a hammer. Under the sound of the calculator returning to 0 and Yang Yu's last strike, Wang Ganglin's psychological shadow expanded infinitely. How come there are such contestants? It's not a loss, 8 points. Yang Yu glanced at himself and his double-digit points, and then looked at the new trainer who was sitting on the ground with his eyes closed and yelled, "Don't come here. Hey, brother, stop screaming. No one will come to save you even if you scream in this place." Yang Yu squatted down, and suddenly a Rata jumped out in front of him, protecting the new trainer behind it. This Rata was still a little unsteady and its whole body was shaking, but it still stood in front of the trainer. Devil! Devil! Zhao Xiaozhou felt like he was in hell. He heard the devil's voice. Yang Yu touched his nose. Isn't this little brother confused by fright? This is possible. However, we are not devils after all, we are still human beings. Okay, that old student has been beaten away by me, relax, Yang Yu said in a very gentle tone. Zhao Xiaozhou still looked at Yang Yu in front of him with great vigilance. In his eyes, that old student might just be a little hateful, but at least he was still a human being. This one in front of me. He is clearly not a human being, but a devil. Zhao Xiaozhou felt that his heart was about to collapse. Just escaped from the wolf's den, and fell into the tiger's mouth again. You. What are you doing? If I tell you to relax, just relax. I'm not interested in your points at all, Yang Yu shouted loudly. Return to 0. The little dream monster appears again holding the calculator. Yang Yu. Zhao Xiaozhou. You can't believe anything the devil says. I'll give you this bracelet, please don't come over. Zhao Xiaozhou really wanted to faint, but the sound of the calculator kept lingering in his ears and even echoed in his mind. I was so dazed that I couldn't even faint. Yang Yu looked at the bracelet that fell to the ground and emitted white light, and rubbed his eyebrows with a headache. Pick up your own things by yourself. I have no intention of grabbing points from the freshman class, Yang Yu snorted coldly. By the way, I secretly added in my mind. The freshman boy before was an accident, the one was just testing whether the little dream demon only pressed the calculator for girls. Zhao Xiaozhou looked at Yang Yu in front of him with dull eyes. You couldn't lie to him, right? No, the devil's words are all lies. But what if it's true? For a moment, Zhao Xiaozu's mind became confused again. Lotta did not have so many complicated thoughts. After understanding what Yang Yu said, Lotta immediately picked up the memory bracelet and returned it to the arms of her master Zhao Xiaozhou. Okay, stop yelling like that. What's wrong with the freshman? After all, he is a man. He can't cry like a girl, right? Yang Yu curled his lips. Could it be that he has hit a lot of girls who cry recently, creating an aura? No. Yang Yu looked at Zhao Xiaozhou, who was slowly calming down, and greeted the little dream demon and Gengui's friends. Get ready to continue heading deeper into the forest. Looking at the group of ghost-type elves hiding behind the departing figure, Zhao Xiaozhou lowered his head in a daze, looked at the memory bracelet with the number 5 still flashing in his arms, gritted his teeth, and felt like he had been drinking heavily. Determination. Brother, wait for me. Taking steps that were almost heavy every step of the way, Zhao Xiaozhou and Lotta worked hard to follow. Why are you following me? Yang Yu was a little surprised that Zhao Xiaozhou was able to keep up with the pace that was very difficult for him every step of the way. Obviously, this must have made a huge determination. Brother, I think I'd better give you the points. I don't have much mobility now, and the elf lineup is not strong. If I stay in the forest, other old students will come to snatch it. Zhao Xiaozhou gasped and continued, even if I give it to you, you are still a freshman. It is better to give it to you, brother, than to those bastard old students who only steal points from freshmen. What did you say? Yang Yu couldn't help but raise his voice. What I mean is. Zhao Xiaozhou's heart skipped a beat. He still vividly remembered how Yang Yu tortured Lao Shen before, and his voice couldn't help but tremble. I. Stop, stop, stop. Slow down, speak slowly. Yang Yu's eyes flashed with thought. I said, I will give you the points. There is no use keeping the points now. Zhao Xiaozhou did not dare to take a big breath and could only say intermittently. No, that's not the sentence. My elf lineup is not strong. In the forest, there will still be old people coming to snatch it. Wait, Yang Yu's voice suddenly sounded extremely excited. What? Repeat it again. My elf lineup is not strong. Zhao Xiaozhou said tremblingly. Next sentence. There will be old students coming to rob. That's right, that's it. Yang Yu's eyes were shining at this time, staring closely at Zhao Xiaozhou in front of him as if he had discovered a huge piece of jade. Zhao Xiaozhou suddenly felt a little panicked. You, what do you want to do? Don't come over. I'm not that kind of person. May I have your name? I said, what's your name? Zhao Xiaozhou, brother, don't do this. Zhao Xiaozhou, right? I have a bold idea. Please vote. Pokemon's Character Master. Author, AI Ren Huoqiang Shao. Chapter 361. Brother, you are really a devil. Shut up and speak human words, otherwise I won't let you play anymore. Brother, I was wrong. These old students really went too far. It's just, brother. Zhao Xiaozhou said weakly. What's wrong? I have one more question. What is the problem? What if the old student you're attracted to is too strong and you can't beat him? Yang Yu was stunned. This question, seems like he hasn't thought about it. Zhao Xiaozhou looked at the expression on Yang Yu's face with fear, and for a moment he felt sweat on his forehead. If you can't beat me, just run away. Yang Yu became angry and asked, why are you asking so many questions? Then what should I do? Zhao Xiaozhou swallowed his saliva. Yang Yu looked tragic and looked at Zhao Xiaozhou in front of him with pity. Brother, then I will take your points and run away first, and I will pay you back next time we meet again. Zhao Xiaozhou. Seeing Zhao Xiaozhou's expression about to collapse again, Yang Yu immediately patted him on the shoulder and said very seriously, do you want to keep being grabbed by the old student for your meager points, or do you want to take advantage of the old student's points? Of course I'm trying to steal points from old students. I've never dreamed of it. Then don't think so much. Now, you have no choice but to believe me. Let's start with the old students who are alone. Yang Yu was full of confidence at this moment. Zhao Xiaozhou was also infected by Yang Yu's emotions and couldn't help clenching his fists. Don't be too exaggerated in your acting, and don't act like there's someone behind you. As promised, if we attract a group of seniors, I'll run away immediately. Zhao Xia's whose newly raised fighting spirit was gone in an instant. Brother, can you say something to comfort me? Zhao Xiaozhou felt so uncomfortable. Return to 0. The little dream monster appears again holding the calculator. It is said that. Do you want to hear what people say? This is very standard human speech. Return to 0. Zhao Xiaozhou immediately shut his mouth. A long time. Brother, one last question, what is your name? Qingyun University, Han Li. Outside Meteor Forest, Hangcheng TV University Camp. Teacher Zhao, look, Yang Yu's points have changed. He just got 8 points, the resident teacher's face immediately became extremely happy. This is a victory in an elf battle. At this stage, 8 points is a lot. Now it has 12 points. It is finally a bit level. Zhao Shenzi's dark face finally became a little brighter. The Elf Alliance battle, the live broadcast will be available soon, right? Yes, a large number of shuttlecocks have been sent out now, and the voice-activated flexible cameras originally in the forest have also been activated. If an elf battle occurs at night, you can also see the battle. Soon, several intertwined scenes appeared on the screen. In the scenes, several students were engaged in a melee duel between elves. On the first day of the competition, we must preserve our strength, otherwise in the last period of the game, if we don't have matching strength, the points we have will be in jeopardy. Zhao Shenzi sighed softly. Teacher Zhao, Yang Yu's 3 roommates, Wen Renfang Chen, Hong Kun, and Gao Mao, got 5 points, and 6 points respectively. Gao Mao. Is he the kid who went to the military camp? Yes, students from the military camp do not occupy the team competition quota, but they are still included in the school's total score. Now, our ranking has reached 140, the resident teacher's brows were full of joy. As long as the current momentum is maintained, the team's total score may reach the top 100. Is there any point card like this? If so, find more and I'll exchange them for you with potato chips. Hold head high. Do you want a drink? Drinks are also available. As long as you have a points card, you can change them. Let's do this, you guys help me find the points card for a few days, and I'll give you all these snacks. Gao Mao patted the backpack behind him that was comparable to his body size. There was not even a tent in this backpack, it was all snacks he prepared himself. Gao Mao wants to eat, little Top Hat wants to eat, little Cappy wants to eat, and sure enough, Weng also wants to eat, but more importantly, compared to other students in school, Gao Mao has a very rich forest survival experience. There's nothing a bag of potato chips can't solve. If so, add another can of Fatboy Happy Water. The game is that simple. At this time, the group of mookbirds in front of Gao Mao looked eagerly at the bag of potato chips that Gao Mao had just opened, and some even started drooling from the corners of their mouths. Not to mention the soda pop opened in Gao Mao's hand. It's simply not that exciting. The mookbirds immediately stretched out their big bellies. Compared with other flying elves, their bellies have always been relatively large. They are the happy fat houses in the forest. Make a deal. The little Kirby watched with tears in his eyes as the bags of potato chips were eaten by these mookbirds one after another. Watching, it felt so distressing. Gao Mao touched the little Kirby's head, and his innocent look showed some wise eyes. As long as you get more points, the leader will give out more elf coins. When the time comes, you can, if you buy dozens of carts of potato chips, you can eat as many as you want. Sao Nansha. Sure enough, Wang figured it out immediately. When the little Cappy heard dozens of carts of potato chips, he immediately opened his round eyes, and even took out a bag of potato chips from the small skull bag he was carrying behind him in an instant. Sure enough, Wang, it's the same. Mookbirds eat slowly, I still have many potato chips here. Sao Nansha. Yongjira, take a good rest and recover your superpowers, then leave it to Kami Turtle and Thunder Beast. Yang. After when Renfang Chen fed Yongjila high-quality energy cubes, he carefully looked at the surrounding environment. He used teleportation to move away from the main movement direction of the crowd and arrived deep into the forest in advance. However, there are certain risks in doing so. Yongjiro will consume a lot of superpowers, which will leave a window of strength during this period. Once he meets a master from another school during this period, it is very likely that the points he has worked so hard to earn will be given away. Wealth can be found in danger. This is what we are talking about now. When Renfang Chen took a deep breath, holding the 2 scorecards he had just obtained in his hands, looking deeper into the forest, and took a step forward footsteps, luck, pretty good. Kami. Kami Turtle followed closely behind, and was inseparable from Renfang Chen. Kodak, where are you going? Quack. When Hong Kong looked at the direction pointed by Kodak Duck, he was filled with emotions for a moment. Unexpectedly, in the forest. It was actually Kodakya who showed him the way to get the points card. Quack. Kodak Duck tilted his head, picked up a fruit with a faint fragrance from the ground, and put it directly into his mouth. Finally found the source of the fragrance. See you in the evening. Pokemon's Character Master. Author, AI Ren Huo Xiangxiao. Chapter 362. Brother, is this okay? After a short rest, Yang Yu and Zhao Xiaozhou prepared to continue heading towards the depths of the meteor forest. In this area, which was still not an important area, the number of people they could meet was estimated to be very few. Don't you have experience before? Pretend that you can't beat the opponent, turn around and run away, and add some words to embellish it while running. Do you still need me to teach you? Yang Yu was a little surprised. Zhao Xiaozu's performance before was very good. He didn't need to act at all. He was originally a relatively weak freshman. Now, he is acting in his true colors. Okay, I'll give it a try then. Zhao Xiaozhou was still flustered. Little dream demon, show him some color. Yang Yu didn't want to continue talking to Zhao Xiaozhou. No, don't take the calculator, I can do it. Zhao Xiaozhou changed his previous timidity. In contrast, he would rather be chased by the second-year and third-year trainers than listen to it again. A devil's return to zero. Isn't this great? I have to use a big killer weapon. Yang Yu discovered that Zhao Xiaozhou was the kind of person who didn't drink fine wine when toasting. He had to speak carefully when he spoke, otherwise there would be no effect. The little dream demon returned to Yang Yu's hair and lay down peacefully. Jengar and its friends once again hid beside Yang Yu and Zhao Xiaozhou. At the same time, several ghosts floated forward in advance. Go and prepare for reconnaissance. Wait for the big fat pig. Han Li, brother, aren't your freshmen at Qingyun University very good this year? Zhao Xiaozhou followed Yang Yu. He still had many messy thoughts in his mind. After forcing himself to calm down, he spoke tremblingly. Yang Yu nodded lightly, looking like a master among freshmen. Yang Yu didn't know how good the freshman from Qingyun University was, but it was enough that Han Li from Qingyun University was good. No matter where you are, the strength of a trainer is your confidence, not to mention that Meteor Forest is Yang Yu's home. Even if Zhao Xiaozhou attracts a senior trainer, Yang Yu will not panic at all. However, it may not be enough to rely solely on the little dream demon and Jengar, but it will definitely be enough if you bring a little Burmese with you. As for those masters whose personal strength ranks quite high, Yang Yu didn't think he would meet him so early, and even if he did, he wouldn't be able to fight an all-out battle. This is a constant battle. During the 5 days in the Meteor Forest, you not only need to ensure that your elf strength is not affected, but you also need to ensure your health. Are there any healing elves in your lineup? Yang Yu suddenly remembered something. While in camp, it seems that many medical students from top universities have elves like auspicious eggs or milk cans. If they form a team in the forest, it will give the team a great advantage. Especially moo milk. When you feel tired from walking like this, just drinking a few sips can relieve your physical fatigue. Brother, that's what Yanjing University and Xingjing University only have. I'm just an ordinary college student, so I don't have any healing skills, Zhao Xiaozhou said with a frown. I hope I can meet a student with a milk can elf, so that I can give the little dream monster the freshest moo milk. Yang Yu reached out and touched the little guy on his head. Moo milk. The little dream demon hugged Yang Yu's hair and kissed it immediately. The little dream monster wants to drink moo milk. Gee. Gengui received Gaisai's response. There seemed to be a figure in front of him. Get ready, it's your turn. Yang Yu gestured to Zhao Xiaozhou. He and the little dream demon need to arrange the venue in advance. At this time, the venue is not suitable for inviting you into the urn. It is best to go to a relatively low-lying place with a slightly dense circle of trees, so that the person who takes the bait can be blocked. Sight. Now, the first day of competition is in the afternoon. It can be said that this is a time when all trainers are relatively sleepy, and they should also be hungry. If you are not prepared, you will not have a hot meal at noon. Therefore, Yang Yu needs to consider the physical strength of the took the bait. Jengar, is that person moving now or staying in place? Yang Yu asked. Jengar appeared on the ground and sat down. This means, that person is resting where he is now. This is the first fishing cooperation between Yang Yu and Zhao Xiaozhou, so they focus on safety. Little dream demon, let's go to this small pit. Everyone, please circle around this pit. Be careful not to hide in the bushes. This is an open door for old students who take the bait. Zhao Xiaozhou, how is your physical condition now? Zhao Xiaozhou immediately replied, you can still run for a while. Lada said that he has almost recovered his physical strength after eating energy cubes. Let the trainer use up his energy first. If he doesn't have a super elf in his hand that can use teleportation, then he won't be able to escape even if he comes. In the end, the location where the elves will fight may not necessarily be here, so what we have to consider is a range. Zhao Xiaozhou, the place where we plan to fight is right here. You just have to lead us over here and leave the rest to me. At this time, Gengui received another investigation reply from Gaisai, and he gestured towards Yang Yu and gave a thumbs up. You mean? Yang Yu frowned slightly. Is this trainer a bit strong? Jengar nodded immediately. Brother, do you want to come? Zhao Xiaozhou felt a little nervous. Don't worry yet. Jengar said that if the lone trainer is stronger, our plan may fail. Why? Because a really strong old student will not covet the points of a freshman. Yang Yu continued, those who want to grab freshman points may not be as strong as some of them when they were freshmen. Are the seniors I met before, including the old student you met, strong? In fact, the elf lineup is not strong. The corners of Zhao Xiaozhou's mouth couldn't help but twitch. Brother, that's because you think you're not strong. Beating him, Zhao Xiaozhou, is not enough. It turned out to be two little devils. Who? Yang Yu and Zhao Xiaozhou suddenly turned their heads. At this time, they were at the entrance of the bush that Yang Yu had set. An uninvited person showed up. Beside that person, a dream-inducing tapir, holding a hypnotic ring in his hand, appeared in front of Yang Yu and Zhao Xiaozhou. Don't be nervous, I'm the veteran trainer you say is not interested in freshman points. But, I am very interested in your plan. Can you add me? You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Pokemon's Character Master. Author, Ai Ren Huoqiang Xiao. Chapter 364. Yang Yu and Zhao Xiaozhou never expected. This person who suddenly appeared in front of me. Are you here to join the gang? Are you sure you're not here to take the opportunity to grab points? Even Yang Yu was not mentally prepared. He never thought that such a situation would happen. This person. Yang Yu felt a little dangerous, but why can we feel from his eyes that he also wants to do bad things? Brother, what should we do now? Zhao Xiaozhou felt panicked. It's like joining forces to do bad things, only to be discovered by others before the thing is done, and it's the same person who did the bad things. Yang Yu seemed as steady as an old dog, but in fact he was panicking. This scene. Yang Yu was caught off guard. Logically speaking, shouldn't the person in front of him be angry when he hears Yang Yu and Zhao Ziya's plan against him? In this way, even if Yang Yu and Zhao Ziya's plan to plunder Lao's Hung is an accident, it can still continue. Can this person actually wants to join the gang? My name is Wu Yuqian. I think your plan is very interesting and I want to participate too, Wu Yuqian said verbatim. Yang Yu couldn't agree so easily. What if we don't agree? If you don't agree, Wu Yuqian was stunned for a moment. He twitched his fingers and recalled his father's teachings in his mind. I can pay, I can. Okay, I decided happily. Before Wu Yuqian finished speaking, Yang Yu reached out and gave him a slap. The move was so fast that Zhao Xiaozhou couldn't help but widen his eyes. Do you agree? For a moment, Zhao Xiaozhou felt as if the rabbit was dead and the fox was sad. What the hell is this situation? Great. You must bring me with you for such an interesting thing. I can be your thug. Beat up those old students. Wu Yuqian's eyes suddenly lit up, and he stretched out his hand to hold Yang Yu's hand tightly. For a moment, he was like his long-lost brother. Yang Yu didn't expect to meet such a good friend when he came to participate in a competition, and he would also encounter the great benefit of making a lot of money. This was really a blessing in disguise. Little brother, give me the Alipay QR code and I will transfer money to you. Wu Yuqian immediately took out his mobile phone. Brother, your mobile phone still has signal in the forest. Zhao Xiaozhou was shocked. Don't you have a signal? I can still call my dad. Wu Yuqian glanced at Yang Yu and Zhao Xiaozhou in confusion, and connected to the internet in his hand. The operation of the boss is so simple. And excellent. Yang Yu. Boss, yes boss. And he's the kind of wild and interesting boss. No, money is just a trivial matter. Let's sum it up first and see how we can catch the big fish. Yang Yu held his breath at this time, his face was not red and his heart was not beating, as if money or not was all trivial. Question. Zhao Xiaozhou stared blankly at Yang Yu, who was completely different from the other two people in front of him, and felt speechless for a moment. Refreshing. I just like to deal with cheerful people. Wu Yuqian looked at Yang Yu's style. He really liked it. No wonder he could come up with such an interesting plan. Brothers. Zhao Xiaozhou. Is there something wrong with the world? My name is Yang Yu, from Hangzhou TV University. Yang Yu reported his name in an instant. Zhao Xiaozhou became confused again and couldn't help blurting out, Brother, isn't your name Han Li, from Qingyun University? Oh, that's my other identity. In the meteor forest, sometimes you need a new identity. This is more convenient. Yang Yu was calm, and his expression did not change at all. It makes sense. Brother Yang Yu, I guess, your dream demon elf, maybe needs to use the identity of Han Li, Wu Yuqian said thoughtfully. Okay, from now on, It's called Chienduo. From, what university do you come from? How about you be like me, Kingyun University? I call you, senior brother Chien. Okay, junior brother Han, Wu Yukin showed an excited smile on his face. Participating in the competition like this, seems, much more interesting than in previous years. Zhao Xiaozhou stared blankly at the two people who were not from Kingyun University at all. He suddenly changed himself to another university and even gave himself a name. When Yang Yu and Wu Yukin both looked at Zhao Xiaozhou, Zhao Xiaozhou's heart trembled. Kingyun University, Zhou Xiaozhou. Yang Yu and Wu Yukin looked very pleased for a moment. Children can be taught. The real Kingyun University students who participated in the national competition, including their resident teachers, may not have expected that there would be 3 more people bearing the names of their schools in the forest. It even has a slogan of doing justice for heaven. Those old students in Meteor Forest who want to earn points for freshmen, must pay the price of points. Little Dream Demon, get ready. Let's go into this battle. This is a sophomore who is very suitable to fight against. The yellow light of the memory ring is correct. At this time, Yang Yu had the idea of continuing to train the Little Dream Demon. Actual combat in the forest can improve the Little Dream monster's ability to control moves and help improve its strength. How brave! Is the freshman trainer also coveting the points in my hand? Someone from which university should sign up? Yang Yu felt a little sorry. If paired with a girl, you can even shout Team Rocket's lines. Since you asked the question sincerely, I will tell you with great mercy. The one who takes your points is Kingyun University, Han Li. But, the premise is that the girl herself has to be willing. According to Yang Yu's normal situation, she won't agree even if she cries, right? The words have not yet finished. The Little Dream monster's shadow clone immediately unfolded, and then the fingertips of both hands merged, lighting up a flash of golden lightning. Shadow Mystery. Electromagnetic Millennium Kill. The lightning was so fast that the Laosheng's Doli mushroom couldn't react at all. Shock your ass. Such fast electricity. The ghost-type elf Menjeo who has mastered energy conversion, junior brother Han, it's not easy. Wu Yukin looked a little solemn. This is not like a move that an ordinary freshman elf can master. But, junior brother Han, how could it be simple? After all, he has a senior brother Chien. Thinking of his role, Wu Yukin grinned. It's a competition, just have fun. If you can spend money, you can enjoy such happiness. So why not? The electric light on the Little Dream monster's fingertips is still bright, and although the mushroom has been shocked on the butt, it still has not fallen into the paralysis state of electromagnetic waves. Since there is no paralysis, then increase the power. The flashing electric light illuminates all the shadow illusions. When the paralysis effect of the electromagnetic wave takes effect, the grinning smile disappeared from the Little Dream Demon's eyes. Then there was an awe-inspiring change. This is shocked, fearful face. The red orb on the chest lit up suddenly. In the face of the fearful power of the Little Dream monster. Tremble. Continue later. Pokemon's Character Master. Author, AI Ren Huo Xiangxiao. Chapter 365. Little Dream Demon combines the frightening and fearful atmosphere of the ghost-type moves, and drives the fear of the opponent's elf. In this way, the more frightened the enemy is, the scarier the frightening effect will be. At the same time, the more terrifying the frightening moves are, the more frightened the enemy will be. This is equivalent to using the fear of the opponent's elf, to increase the power of your own moves. Theoretically, there is no upper limit to the increase in power. Yang Yu was staring at the performance of the Little Dream Demon intently. Different from previous battles, Yang Yu's move requirements for the Little Dream Demon now increased as the Little Dream Demon grew up. Perhaps we can be like the Salted Fish King, with the intimidation characteristic, and come out with his own intimidation field. A thought flashed through Yang Yu's mind for a moment. However, it is still a little early for the little dream demon, but in the future, it is not impossible to realize it. In the paralyzed state, Doli Mushroom still fired the seed machine gun, but his reaction speed was hindered, coupled with the influence of the shadow clone of the little dream demon. The seed machine gun completely failed. Can it actually produce such incredible effects? This dream demon is too powerful. Zhao Xiaozhou couldn't help but swallowed his saliva. If we say that in the first battle he saw before, the main core was definitely attributed to Jengar. Jengar's shadow ball move was a direct victory. As for the dream monster, Zhao Xiaozhou only thinks that the most terrifying thing is the sound of pressing the calculator. It is not the strength of the little dream demon. But now, Zhao Xiaozhou felt that the battle in front of him refreshed his views. The little dream monster is really scary. Don't you think that the stronger one should be junior brother Han? Wu Yuqian suddenly felt that the real strength of the junior brother Han he met this time was somewhat unfathomable. Because in terms of the strength of the elves alone, the dream demon should only be close to the strength of ordinary intermediate elves, but this Doli mushroom is definitely the best among the intermediate elves. But, relying on the advantages of the forest's terrain and environment, he won the battle, and it was a crushing situation. From the moment the shadow clone lights up, the rhythm of the battle is firmly in the hands of junior brother Han. Hangcheng TV University. Wu Yuqian narrowed his eyes slightly and muttered to himself in a voice that only he could hear, I have to ask my dad to invest in that university and see if it can build a library. What? This competition is going to be interesting. Little dream demon, it's time to show a truly terrifying action. Yang Yu immediately issued the final killing order. At this time, the little dream demon once again had a harmless smile on his face, and he immediately took out a devil's weapon that made Zhao Xiaozu's heart tremble after seeing it, a calculator. Wu Yuqian blinked, unprepared for the little dream demon suddenly taking out a calculator. I'm even a little curious, what is this calculator used for? Until that ruthless voice sounded. Return to zero. Hiss. Wu Yuqian took a breath of air. Junior brother Han, so cruel. But, I like it. At this moment, Wu Yuqian even felt an indescribable happiness. Especially this kind of happiness seems to be based on the unlucky opponent, but I have to say, this is really happy. Wu Yuqian even felt a sense of relief when he saw the sophomore student almost angrily throwing his memory ring over, eager to throw it in junior brother Han's face. Feel comfortable, feel comfortable. You know, Wu Yuqian often dealt with money in his family education. Wu Yuqian is not too familiar with a calculator that makes a return to zero sound. When calculating accounts, don't you just use a calculator like this? This is so fun. For a moment, Wu Yuqian even wanted to call his father and ask him to parachute a batch of these calculators over immediately. Welcome next time. Done, call it a day. Han Li of Qingyun University, I will swear no conflict with you. There was another incompetent roar in the forest, but there was no one else around. Only 3 students from Qingyun University, Yang Yu, Wu Yuqian, and Zhao Xiaozhou, stayed here. Brother, is this too cruel? Zhao Xiaozu's eyelids twitched. When they stole your points, didn't you think they were cruel? Wu Yuqian glanced at Zhao Xiaozhou indifferently. His hands were itchy now, and he really wanted to find someone to fight an elf battle. Kindness to the enemy is cruelty to oneself. This is what happens in national competitions. Food is the original sin, Yang Yu grinned, seeing as the sky is getting dark, do you need to find a place to rest? Okay, just in time, I'll let my milk tank produce some moo milk, so everyone can replenish their energy. Wu Yuqian immediately showed a pokeball in his hand. Zhao Xiaozhou. Yang Yu. Is there such an operation? When the little dream demon heard the words moo milk, she couldn't help but tighten Yang Yu's hair. It has been a long time since it drank moo milk. Cry ching ching. The life of the little dream monster is so miserable. Senior brother Jian, this is too strong, Yang Yu couldn't help but gasped. Who is this big guy picked up on this road? There are controlled elves like milk cans. Yang Yu even thought about whether to find a chance to go see a girl from the medical department and ask for some moo milk, but he didn't expect. Wu has money, and senior brother Jian Duo actually has a milk can elf. Then what's the use of a medical girl? Zhao Xiaozhou was just a little dizzy. He had never thought that one day he would drink moo milk during the game. Even in school, he was reluctant to spend elf coins to buy it. It's not bad, the moo milk in the milk can is really good. I was taking a rest while drinking moo milk, and then the dream-inducing taper discovered the two of you discussing this interesting plan. Wu Yuqian waved his hand. We meet in the forest, that's fate. What I, Wu Yuqian, value the most is fate. This is great. Zhao Xiaozhou still couldn't believe it. This seemed to be a dream. He was really afraid of waking up from such a dream. He is just an ordinary and humble freshman. We have to spend 5 days in the forest, and we can only eat what we bring with us. It would be better if we could have other hot meals. The taste of moo milk is not as good as a delicious dinner. Wu Yuqian sighed, sometimes, money is useless and I can't buy a hot dinner in the forest. At this time, a faint voice emerged. I think, the dinner thing, is a bit easy to handle. Wu Yuqian was stunned for a moment, then suddenly put his hand on Yang Yu's shoulder. Junior brother Han, what did you say? Good night, fellow trainers from the 5th update on 11.1.